Hi friends, in today's tutorial, we are going to be making an objective quiz test using Python Kivy. For example, now let's run this simple objective based test. Here, when we run it, it says, what's the capital of France? Paris. I know the answer is Paris. Then what's the capital of United Kingdom, which is London? What's 2 plus 2? For what continent is Italy on? I will say Europe. And what's 1 plus 1 is 2. And it says quiz finish. Your score is 100 over 100. And also, if I make some mistakes now, I say the capital of France is London and the United Kingdom. This one, get it correctly. 2 plus 2, 4. Europe and 2. It says your score is 80 over 100. So let's get started. Please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the like button and also please hit the subscribe button. And please do not forget to support me on PayPal. The link is at the description below. So let's get started. So now in this first step now, we are going to be importing the important properties that we need for this project. So what are the important properties? We did Kivy. Most of them are just Kivy like stuff. So let's just start from something. So from Kivy dot app import app. Then from Kivy dot uix dot box layout right, import box layout. Then from Kivy dot uix dot label then import label. And which one again are we import? Sorry, it's supposed to be capital letter label. Then from Kivy dot uix dot button toggle button. Yes, then import toggle button. So we've imported the right properties we need now. So let's move on to the next step. Now the next step now is to create the class for the objective quiz test. So what we are going to do is that we're going to create class, then write objective objective quiz. Then we'll now bring our bracket, then app. Then under here we are going to write pass. Then what we are now going to do here is that we are going to write if. We're just going to write if underscore name underscore equal to underscore name underscore. Then we are going to now write objective quiz then dot run, just for it to make it just to adjust the interface and the program itself. That's what we are going to do here. So now let's go to the main point now. The main point now is to create the questions and options and the correct answer. What you are going to do now is that you are going to come over here, clear all this stuff here. Then we are going to come here and write um, df underscore init self init self equals they will now write super then bracket dot underscore init. Then we'll now write um, self create a variable which is question self dot questions they are going to be having up to 6 or 7 questions here. We're going to create them in a form of sets. So here's what we are going to do now. I'm going to bring this down like this and under let me questions under here we are going to form our questions now. Let's go on to forming the questions. So to form the questions now, under this set to form the questions, we are going to create a bracket here, a curly bracket. So under this curly bracket, I'm going to create a kind of string variable which is going to call and to get the variable for question, options, and answer. So the first question, we're going to write question. This is how we're going to do it. Question. We're now going to put this stuff here like this. And now we will now write um the first question is what is the capital of France? It's our question mark. So we've created the variable for question and the options. We are going to now write our comma here. They will now write options. Options create a kind our variable, our string variable. Option options are going to be which what is the capital of France? We are going to create the option. The first option is going to be Paris. Then the second option is going to be London. The third option is going to be um, Berlin. And the fourth option is going to be Rome. Then we finish creating the variable for the option for question number one. So we want to create the correct answer. We want to create the variable for the correct answer here. So what we are going to do is that we are going to create write comma, then correct answer, correct underscore answer is going to be Paris. Paris is the capital of France, actually. So that's the correct answer. That's the right answer we are going to create. We are going to give it as. So let's work on another question. This is how we are going to be doing it, instantiating it. So this question number one. So I'll just duplicate it and ask another question again. Maybe another question based on capitals again. Or let's just copy and paste here. And I forgot to put my comma here. I'm going to put comma. We are creating it as a set. So this set one. Set one is done. This is the question one. with all its variables here, which is the questions, options, and correct answer. So question number two also, what is the capital of, let's write England this time. What is the capital of England? Your United Kingdom as usual. They are all the same. United Kingdom. There is Paris. There is Paris, London, and the correct answer would be London. So let's create up to five questions. We are going to be brief this time. So the third question will be the third question is going to be um, question. Let me ask a very simple question, and the question will be, what is 2 plus 2? Options will be 7, 1, 0, and 4. And the correct answer is 4 as usual. So let's keep duplicating material, and don't forget to put your comma under. Then we write another question again. And the other question is, um let's ask another simple question again. What is the capital of Italy? Italy. What's the what's um let's ask a very simple question. Um what continent continent is um Italy? What continent is Italy on? The first option can be Africa, Europe, um, um, America, North America, or South America. And the correct answer is Europe. 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 One, two, three, four. Then let's create our final answer, our final question. And what is um what well, let's ask a simple question. What question are we going to ask? What is just one plus one? Answer one, one plus one. The first option is zero, second option is two, third option is five, fourth option is 20, and the correct answer is two. So that's all for creating option for question and answer. So let's go on in making this, implementing it, and trying to display this to make it work. So let's work on that now. So now, um, what we are going to do now is that we are going to we are going to be going into the main skeleton for this program. So now here is where you are going to put your focus. You are going to put your attention towards. So here, what we are going to do now is that we're going to create a variable which is self dot current underscore question is going to be equal to 0. Then self dot score is going to be equal to 0. So what we mean here is that when we run the program, the self.current question is that when we run the program, it's going to start from this set one, set two. It's going to start from zero. It's going to start from the first and beginning set. If we change it to one, two, three, we have five questions here. If we change it to four, it's going to start from this question here, which is this one, two, three, four. It's going to start from here. What continent is Italy on? It's going to start from there. So we're going to leave it at zero. So it starts from the beginning. So this score is going to record our response to the answer. If we answer it correctly, it's going to add a certain score. It's going to add a certain score for us. And if we answer it wrongly, it doesn't add anything at all. We just pass through the option and go through. So that's what we are working. That's what it is right here. So what we are going to do here now. Let's move on and continue. So now in this step, as we are working on now, as what we are working on now, we're going to create a function, a build function. That build function is going to make sure it displays everything, the questions and options, question and option and everything. So let's work on that now. So df build then self. Then what you are going to do is that you are going to write self dot questions question label. This label would help handle displaying the questions for us on the screen. You are going to write label bracket text equal to self dot question self dot questions self dot questions then bracket self dot current underscore question. Then we are going to bring our bracket. Then um question. So what this line is just all about working on displaying the question text on the screen. So we are going to create option buttons. We are going to work on creating the option buttons aside from the question being displayed on the screen. So what we are going to do now is that we're going to write self dot option underscore buttons. Then this we are going to put it like this. Then for option in in self dot questions, then we're going to write self dot current questions, then we're going to write our options like this options then what we're going to do is that I'm going to write button is going to be equal to toggle button bracket text equal to option, then group the option, I made a mistake here, option equal to group, option, comma, uh, group equal to option, group equal to option, um, then on underscore press equal to self dot select underscore option. So what we are trying to do here is to let me finish first. I will explain what we are doing here. So self dot option underscore button dot append bracket button. So what we are doing here is that we are also displaying the questions, and we are also creating our buttons and displaying the options, these options that are here. We are going to be displaying options for each buttons here. That's what we are that's what we are doing in this line here. And we store them as what we are trying to do is that we're trying to create buttons. That's what we are actually doing. We're trying to create our button UIs, user interface. So now what we are going to do now is to so now in this case now, what we are after doing this step now, what we want to do now is um to display the this thing, what the text, the everything, the interface, the question and answer buttons. So let's work on this step now. To do this now, we are going to come over here. We are going to write layout equal to box layout, then orientation equal to vertical, then layout dot add widget, then self dot question label. We are adding the question onto our screen, and um button for button um in self dot option self dot option um for button in self dot options. Wait, let me see what I'm doing now. Self self um dot option buttons, yes. Then layout dot add widget, then button. So what we did here is that we are adding the button into our screen here too, and also the questions here. So this side now, all this side here, these buttons is to just try to get the selected option and all this stuff. And this side is just to add everything into our screen. But now if you run this program now, it's going to show, it's displaying. Um so now want to display the questions that um I just brought out here. This question, I want to display the first question. So let's work on that now. So let's continue from where we stopped. Here, let's run the program. It's giving some error. First of all, let me create a function for this. Uh, let me create a function for df select option. Select um option self the right path. I think the place is this orientation. It's supposed to be spelled correctly. And so let's run it now. You can see now that it's saying what is the capital of France. It's displaying the first question and so on. So there's one thing I want to show you. One thing you need to understand about this quiz application is that if I come over here, this current question is zero, which are what I explained here. I explained it here that if it's at zero, if it's on zero, it starts from the first question. If it's one, if I change it to one, two, three, four now, it's going to start from that from the set from the set in orderly manner. Now this for zero, this current how will I put it, the current question variable is zero, so it's going to start from the first question. If I put one, two, three, let's try number three. For example, now I've run it. You see the question it will display. You say what continent is Italy on? And you see now it's changed because we moved to the other questions. We've changed the variable to the variables of the set to another set of questions. So let me show you now. Let's look at it first and count it from here. Zero, one, two, and three. You can see that when we put three here, it asks what continent is Italy on, and it's the same question it asked here. So, but the next thing now, what we are going to do now is that we are going to be working on it now. We're going to be working on it and making sure that whenever we press this button or that button, it's going to go to the next question, and if we press the correct button, if we click on the right answer, it's going to add us score. And after we finish the quiz, when we finish the quiz, it's going to give us our score. So let's work on that now. So now, but first of all, before we continue now, there is a mistake I made here. In case if you are getting error, I put int and I corrected it to init. At the first time when I was doing the video, I mistakenly wrote integer instead of init. So please go here and correct this side if you have not done that. So let's move on to the next step. So now we are going to work on the select option. That means now this is where we will call in the select option. When we press the buttons, press one of the buttons in the options, is going to check. We are going to click on the button and either move to the next. We are going to do two things: move to the next page and check if we click the correct answer. So to continue on that, we are going to work on select option now. This is to check if we selected the right answer. Now this is what we are going to do here. We are going to write selected option, select selected underscore option, selected option, create a variable equal to, we're going to write instance here, instance, don't forget that, then instance dot text, then corrected answer, correct answer, correct underscore answer is going to be equal to self dot question. Then we'll now write our brackets self dot current question. Then we're going to write that this current correct answer. So what we mean here is that we want to get the instance, we are trying to get that text. We are trying to look for that correct answer, that text of this. This is what we are looking for. Trying to look for this correct answer, correct answer. We are trying to look for the variable there. So this one is just getting is trying to get the correct answer variable. So that's what we are doing here. So this is what we are going to do in this step now. Select option. What we are going to now do is that if we are going to create a condition that if selected option is going to be equal to correct answer, then we're going to write self dot score self dot score. This selected option is the instance. This instance dot text is, for example, now this answer. This is the instance dot text. We are trying to get the answer, and this correct answer. What we are trying to do is to get that variable, this correct answer inside that question, inside that question that we are asking. So if this selected option is equal to this correct answer, then what you are going to do now is that self.score, we are going to add it, self.score plus equal to 20. I'm going to add it by 20. So then what we are going to now do then is that after that we move to the next question after scoring, after we've gotten our score. We are going to move to the next question. We are now going to write self dot current question is plus equal to 1. This current question here, this is what we are talking of. Let me change this to 0. I'm going to add it incrementally by 1. I'm going to increment it by 1. That means we are moving to the next question. That's what is going to happen in this case here. So here's what we are going to do now. We are going to create something very important. We are going to do something now. Here is that we are going to what we are going to do now is that if now we finished our test, we are now going to give ourselves, we are now going to score ourselves. So what we are going to do now is that I'm going to write if self dot current question is less than len bracket self dot question, then what we are going to do now is that we are now going to write self dot update question, update underscore question, the question. What we are trying to do here is to check if we have completed, if we are still if we've answered all the question. If we've not answered the question, we'll move on to the next question, which is to update. We are going to create a variable for this update question. I'm going to create a function, sorry, a function for it. Then update self dot question. Then else, if we found out that we've completed everything, we've completed the quiz, we are now going to write self dot end underscore quiz, self end underscore quiz. This is what it is. So we need to create these two functions. So to explain what I'm saying, let's go for update question. Function of update question. There, the update question. Update underscore question. Right, self here. Under this update question, we want to make sure that we after we've answered the question, we switch to the next question. Keep switching and switching and switching and switching. I mean, what we want to do is that we want to make sure we display a new text after we want to make sure we display a new text, the new question text, and new options after we submitted our first answer. So to do that, we are going to write self dot question, self dot question label dot text equal to self dot questions. I'm going to write self dot current question. Then we'll do this. Then write questions. Question. Yes. So this is for the text. So let's work for the on the button. That means for button in self dot option underscore buttons. You will now write button dot text. That means the new options for the buttons. After we've answered the first question, then we write self dot questions, self dot questions. They will bring this. We're supposed to do this here. Buttons dot text, self dot questions, then self dot current question bracket option, which we are going to do this. I'm going to write self dot option underscore button underscore buttons dot index bracket button um button dot state is going to be equal to normal. It's going to be normal. This is to tell the the program that the button should be normal, that it shouldn't be like, I don't know how to put it, but it should be in a neutral state. The button should be in a neutral state. It shouldn't be like it has been like is being pressed on, just to make it in a default state, a clean way of making it in a default manner. So let's run it so far, at least to some extent. What's the capital of France? Paris. We are still working on, still showing some error. So let's move on to end quiz. Let's move on to writing the function of end quiz now. So to do that now, that will be the final step for this tutorial. Then we'll do this def, we create the function of end underscore quiz, um, end underscore quiz, which is self. Then what we are going to do now is that we are going to calculate the final scores. And to do that, we are going to write self dot question question um question underscore label dot text. We are going to write on the screen to display quiz. We are going to display quiz finished on the screen. And when we display that, we are going to turn off, disable all the buttons. And to do that, we are going to write for button in self dot option underscore button buttons, then button dot disabled is going to be equal to true. Then we are going to now write result. We're going to create a variable which is called result. We're going to create a text on the screen which is called result label is going to be equal to label bracket text equal to f. We're going to write your score is I'm going to do this again. Write self dot score self dot score self dot score over 100. Then we are going to display your score is whatever you score divide by 100. Divide by 100 since it's 5 questions we are doing. So what we are going to do now, let's continue on from the next step now. We are going to write from here now self dot root dot add underscore widget. We're going to write the result label. So we are going to add it on the screen. So let's run it and see if we have any error. What's capital of France? Paris is displaying, is crashing. Let me see this error and see if there's any stuff we need to fix right over here. I think the error is in this area here. What we are going to do, what we are supposed to do now is to bring this up here. Then let's run it now. So now let's try and score everything correctly. So what's the capital of France? Paris. What's the capital of United Kingdom? London. What's 2 plus 2? 4. What continent is Italy or Europe? What's 1 plus 1? 2. You see it says quiz finish. Your score is 100 over 100. That means you score 100 over 100. So let's run it and let's try and fail one and try and pass the rest and see what we score. Let's say capital of France is London. What's the capital of United Kingdom? London. 1, 2 plus 2, 4. What continent is Italy on Europe? What's 1 plus 1 is 2. You score 80 over 100. Or if you do it wrongly, you do it anyhow, try to rush the test or just do anything you want to do. It says you score 20 over 100. So I think that's how to make an objective quiz test using Python key. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Hi friends, thanks for watching. Please, if this is your first time watching, please don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to this channel right now and support me on PayPal. The link is in the description below. So thanks for watching and see you in our next video.